Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's political analysis. Fred Okengo Matiangi has finally showed up for a very high-profile political meeting, which also gives a glimpse of hope to his political supporters and those who subscribe to his ideology. This meeting took place today in an unknown location. And during that meeting, the photos that has been shared are showing Kalonzo Musyoka in attendance, Martha Karua in attendance, Richard Rigathi Gachagua was also present, Mukisa Kitui was present, Eugene Wamalwa was also present, among other people. What we are still not sure about was the agenda of discussion. What was on the table during the meeting. But as a political analyst, we can draw some point from the body language. We can also look at the setup of the meeting and the environment in which the meeting took place. To show you that this meeting was serious, it never took place in somebody's house, nor in a restaurant or hotel. But this meeting could have taken place in one of these leaders' official office or private office. And during the meeting, they did not say much after that. Whatever they discussed still remained undisclosed. But what we saw is that papers were on top of the table, except in front of Fred Matiangi, who posed for that photo without a piece of paper in front of him. But your gaze would be as good as mine. That now, since Fred Matiangi came back to the country, amid popularization from his supporters, Matiangi is holding the first meeting with these people. I guess he is being briefed on what is going on in the political landscape, the development that has been achieved so far in terms of preparation towards 2027, what needs to be done, and what should be done before 2027. And the first meeting, I know Rigathi Gachagua's issue of new political party unveilment was on table, because he was to unveil the party in the month of May, which we are crossing over from Thursday. I know the issue of also how to resource for this campaign must have been on the table. Number three, I also think that they also discussed the plans on how to come up with a competent, tried and tested candidate to face off with William Samoei Arap Ruto. And during that meeting, a Jubilee Secretary General, Jeremiah Kioni, was never present. Does this mean that now Fred Matiangi has taken over the leadership of the Jubilee? Because Uhuru Kenyatta is the party leader. Jeremiah Kioni is the Secretary General. But again and again, they have been invoking Fred Matiangi as their presidential candidate. But Fred Matiangi has not said a word. And he, as his nature is, to remain silent about this issue. Even today, after that meeting, he did not come to the press to say something. But I anticipate that going forward, a series of meetings will be held, and State House will not sleep because of such kind of meeting. The question is, if you look at that team, do you see a team of men and women who have what it takes to remove Ruto from power? Do you see them ready to take Kenya forward? Or is it just another group of old political class who will come and to connect with what has been the trend? Because none of them has been out of the government. Mohisa Kitui has served in Kibaki's government. Kalonzo has served from Moi to Kibaki, a grand coalition. Rigathi Gachagua is the immediate former deputy president. Martha Karua was a minister in Kibaki's regime. Matiangi served in Uhuru's government. And all the governments they served had their hiccups and challenges. But we hope that they are going to come up with new ideologies on how to correct the misdeeds that happened during their tenure in offices, because each one of them have something to say about government. What I want you to go and check and help me check out properly is the amount of vote they are expecting to galvanize to help their candidate to push Ruto out of the office. Because if you do your rough work and to ransack this country mentally and to go into every corner to check on the possibility of these people to persuade their constituents to vote for them, I can guess that the only person whom I'm sure will bring votes is Rigathi Gachagua and Fred Matiangi and also Kalonzo Musyoka. I do not see Eugene Wamalwa being mentioned much with Kenyans as they did George Natembeya. I do know Eugene Wamalwa is the party leader which George Natembeya belongs, the DAP Kenya. And people doesn't see him as a potential. The only person they see who is courageous and can articulate people's issues without fear of contradiction and can face it as it is George Natembeya of Trans Nzoia. But George Natembeya comes from Bukusu sub-tribe of Luhya Nation. And that is where Moses Wetangula comes from. And traditionally, it's known that Bukusus have voted in the recent past in the direction Moses Wetangula shows them. So I do not think Natembeya will bring much as it is Eugene Wamalwa. Come to Martha Karua. Martha Karua and Rigathi Gachagua comes from the same region. And I do not see them convincing Kenyans outside the mountain to vote for them. And therefore, they are equal to one. Now, Mohisa Kitui is also a Bukusu. come from the same region which Natembeya, Eugene come from. So we only expect votes from, if Western were to bring votes, then they will come through George Natembeya, not Eugene Wamalwa. Kamba and Taitas will vote in the direction Kalonzo will show them. But it will also depend if Kalonzo will be given the ticket. So the calculation and the arithmetics that they are going to do to solve the problem must be high-tech. Today I was theorizing with one of my friends from the mountain, and he told me that in the mountain they have no plan whatsoever to offer one of them as a candidate, neither as a running mate, and that they are ready to support whoever that side of Rigathi Gachagua will agree on. But I tried to object his opinion and to challenge him with an option of Rigathi Gachagua going for that seat. But he denied that kind of arrangement. And I said, what of common? What is the feeling and the mood of the ground? Because that is opinion of the elites. What is the mood of the ground? Do they want a Kikuyu president? Do they want a Kikuyu anywhere around power? He said no. So we are going to see if Rigathi and Martha will step out. And they come from a region which is mostly expected to back up this movement in terms of voting. The higher percentage of votes that will see one of these opposition leaders or their candidate clinch power must come from the mountain. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking your time, and may God bless you.